I've never seen a total eclipse.
A breathtaking moment.
Just blown away. And if you just look around, everybody has the biggest grin, just like yours.
Brought cheers. A little eerie for sure.
The feel of the air chilling, the haze of what looks to be a sunset on the ground coming up, and just total darkness.
Thousands traveled to see.
Pictures are not going to do it justice.
The total eclipse of the sun.
First, live, local. The 5 o'clock news starts now on Fox 12 Oregon.
Good evening and welcome to the 5 o'clock news. I'm Pete Ferryman.
And I'm Elizabeth Dinh. Well, it finally happened. So much anticipation built up to this moment. Many of you waited for years, others even decades. But then that magical moment, we saw it, the total solar eclipse. Some of you, like Pete, saw it on TV. Others, like myself, saw it in person. Regardless of how you saw it, it did not disappoint.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my. Unbelievable. Oh, you can see the corona.
It's incredible.
It is. Oregon became the hub of all things eclipse. And now, after an incredible show, well, it's time to hit the road.
Yeah, here's a live look right now from one of our cameras. This is I-5 in the Wilsonville area. You can see that traffic is still really tough as folks make their way from that totality zone back into the Portland metro area. In Central Oregon, the lines of traffic are not letting up. Look at this. Air 12 flew over Madras this afternoon. You can see car after car after car, but planes were also lined up at the airport. You can see them sitting on the tarmac waiting for clearance to take off.
That's where we find Fox 12 Chief Meteorologist Mark Nelson, as well as Fox 12 reporter John Hendricks. Hi there, guys.
Hey guys, you know, I think the big thing today was, with me, too fast. It was too fast. It was here and it was gone, but man, it was just amazing. I think the big thing is, at least with me, I want more.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about this coming up, but yeah, it was just amazing here in Madras. We had a thin veil of smoke. You know, there was concern about too much smoke from the fires. There was concern maybe we'd see some clouds like we saw yesterday, but everything was just fine, thin veil of smoke, and that was just about it. So like I said, everything worked just great. We had all the perfect effects we thought we might see, like the sunset 360 degrees around, the diamond ring, which is where we suddenly saw the flash come back after the total eclipse. And it was surprisingly quiet. We had some hoots and hollers, and then it was relatively quiet. But I asked one Tim Cully from California, lots of people from California, I asked him what he thought of it.
Incredible experience. Everyone talks about it. You hear ahead of time, you know, let's get up there, let's see it, and you hear it on the news, but you don't really understand it until you've seen it. It was incredible, especially when it just lined up perfectly. It was just a perfect fit.
Yeah, so two things that surprised me, I'd say. One is we thought the temperature would maybe make a big drop, and maybe it was because of the time of the day. You know, that was kind of up my alley. Only a 2-degree drop here. There was a 2 or 3 degree drop in Salem, and then the temperature continued rising again. And also, I was surprised, well, like my shirt, we can come out to my shirt here, and I thought this was kind of ridiculous when I bought the shirt. Why is it white? The sun's kind of that yellowish look. But once we get to the corona only, it was all that kind of that bluish color, which was so neat, though. So one more thing I did ask people, I said, hey, now that you've seen it, do you think you'd go see another one? I haven't met a single person here today who said, nah, it wasn't a big deal, I'm not going to do it again. Even people that have been sitting here for 6 hours in traffic, as John's going to tell us, said, yeah, we'd do it once again. So pretty cool. And coming up at 6 o'clock, I'll show you where you can see it in just 7 years, and you don't have to leave the USA, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, one thing that was kind of spot on was all of the traffic that we've seen. I want to give folks a look at the traffic right now here in Madras. This is all leaving the airport. We've spoke with some folks who have been trying to get out of here for the last, 7 hours out to Highway 26. Now, from Air 12, you can see the mess that folks found themselves in on Highway 97 between Madras and Bend, and as the day went on, it only got worse further to the south and a little bit to the north. Oregon State Police put out a notice on social media shortly after the eclipse ended, asking those headed out to simply stay put. It only took a matter of minutes before the roads were clogged. They didn't want to add to that. Now, we spoke with some drivers earlier as they sat waiting in a long line of traffic.
We've been in line for 4 hours.
Yeah. How long are you expecting to take to get home?
Probably another 4.
We kind of expected it, so kind of take it with the adventure of being able to see something pretty spectacular.
You know, one other thing that we got to see were all of the planes out here taking off and landing. 400 plus planes, and they got up and out of here pretty quickly today.
The big jets took off, and we didn't find out till just now. They wouldn't tell us who was here, but we know, I think it was Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, was here. We heard the founder of Google was here. We heard Kid Rock is here, or was here. We just didn't see them. They weren't hanging out with us, so I guess we weren't quite big enough. But did you love it?
Oh, man, I'm ready to do another one.
I think every single person wants to see it again. What do you think, Pete and Liz?
Oh, yeah. I mean, everyone's been asking, and Mark, you know, I looked this up, that April 8th of 2024. I know that is the next one that goes through the U.S., but I actually wanted to throw a question back at you, Mark, because we know you've been looking forward to this for decades, and did it live up to what you wanted, or did it go beyond your expectations and dreams?
Oh, yeah, it was just, I know, overused phrase or word, surreal. You can't see that in any other form. It was just amazing. So yeah, it lived up to my expectations, but like I said, it was too fast. It was here and it was gone. Some eclipses go like 6 minutes, so it'd be nice to have one that's double the length, and that next one will be.
Boy, I tell you what, though, we're all so grateful that the weather cooperated and that it was such a spectacular sight. Great job out there, guys. I know we're going to be checking back in with you throughout the evening. Thank you.
All right, yeah, thanks again to Mark and John, who've been giving us great coverage for days now. But let's get back to that traffic situation. A live look at the conditions as we look at this traffic map for you. And you can see along I-5, especially when you look at Salem, for folks heading up north back to Portland, some people going to Portland, others going up to maybe Washington. Still a little bit clogged there. We're seeing some delays, some folks saying 1 to 2 hours there, longer than normal. And then as we head over to Madras, which was one of the best viewing spots in the country, as we'd been telling you, same thing. And you can see there, especially along Highway 97 on the right, that it is a little bit clogged, and folks heading southbound on 26. There is an accident to let you know about as well in the northbound lanes of 26, and what we're hearing is that right at Dogwood Lane, there is an accident, so that's also likely causing those delays as folks try to head right out of Madras and head northbound on 26.
Yeah, I-5 really has been a mess all afternoon between Portland and Salem.
Yeah, it was quiet, and then all of a sudden it just hit. Yeah. So let's get to Fox 12's Haley Rush, who is in Woodburn. And a lot of people decided, hey, let's just sit this out for a little bit, Haley, and maybe try some shopping. Is that what we're hearing?
They did. Tons of people decided that today. I want you to take a look at this traffic, though, here first. It's moving slowly, but it has been at a standstill today here as well. But take a look over here, like you were just saying, at the premium outlets. You can see cars everywhere. People have been in and out of here every day. They tell me all day. I mean, they're saying that they just want to stay away from the traffic and wait it out as long as possible. Getting from Salem back to Portland on I-5 has proven not so easy for people behind the wheel.
It's a lot of traffic. Took me like 2 hours to get here.
We went kind of a windy way behind the highway to get here, but we're just gonna go for the I-5 this time and see how it works out for us.
Many people, fed up, decided to stop here at the Woodburn Premium Outlets to wait for it to calm down.
Just spend a little time here, wait for the traffic to die down. It took us, what, half an hour to get down here, and currently it's a couple of hours to get back.
The outlets welcomed all shoppers, even having an Eclipse sidewalk sale.
Shop, eat, and just stay out of the traffic.
Nearby Woodburn restaurants are also seeing a flood of Eclipse travelers.
Red Robin was an hour-and-a-half wait.
But people say even waiting hours in traffic is a small price to pay for an unforgettable experience.
It's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing, so it was kind of worth it. This traffic, I mean, it's kind of worth doing just because it may never happen again, so.
Now, some shops here also opened at 6 a.m. to welcome people who came for the eclipse. The parking lot has also remained completely packed here today, all day and for hours. Reporting live in Woodburn, Haley Rush, Fox 12 Oregon.
Haley, thank you. A lot of those people stuck on I-5 were down in Salem earlier. Check out this view from Air 12 as totality hit. You wouldn't think it unless you told you that it was from this morning. You can just see the whole area go dark as crowds filled public parks near the state capitol. Salem was was the first major city in the path of totality. OMSI took over the state fairgrounds with a viewing party. A sold-out crowd of thousands came out to see this. Many had never seen a total eclipse before, but one person who witnessed one before happened to see it from, outer space. NASA astronaut Don Pettit grew up just a few miles from Salem in Silverton. He was in Salem today, excited about being with all of those eclipse watchers.
I hope that young people can see that there's something beyond just, rock and roll, get curious about learning what's going around, and to really understand what's going around you, you have to have a good background in math, and you have to have a good background in science.
From kids to adults, today's celestial event was a powerful experience.
There were lots of unique ways to watch the eclipse.
Fox 12's Nick Krupke went to Kaiser, where baseball and science met at the Volcanoes Stadium.
Well, take me out to the ball game, a total eclipse of the park, where the Hops and Salem Kaiser Volcano played 1/2 inning before the first ever professional sports game to be delayed by a total eclipse.
I looked at the date this morning on my phone. I said, I can't believe it's Monday, August 21st, 2017. It's finally here.
It happened.
Ready for a solar eclipse?
Major League Fun on a minor league diamond in Kaiser.
This is a historic day. It's the biggest event we've ever had at Volcano Stadium since we opened the stadium 20 years ago.
Some traveled as far away as Germany and Japan.
Minnesota, Florida,
Alaska, Arizona, Colorado.
and then we've got our...
It's like you're playing state bingo. There's no Delaware yet.
No, we haven't got that yet.
Baseball lifers, science lovers, united as one for the once-in-a-lifetime celestial event.
I haven't really ever experienced anything like it. You kind of don't even think it's real.
It was science first and baseball on second.
Take off your glasses.
Words fail. Really, just to describe that last 0.5%, when it went into full total eclipse.
Forget the myth. How about a telescope?
Corona was much brighter, even with the naked eye. This is the first one I've seen, and it was outstanding.
Brunching and basking in totality.
I mean, honestly, at the beginning, I had no idea what to expect, but seeing that was a life-changing experience.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
The hype was great. It lived up to the hype. Top of the list.
Well, I don't care if I ever get back. The fans that came certainly did. Part of history. Both first pitches, pre and post eclipse delay, are now on their way to Cooperstown in the Baseball Hall of Fame. In Kaiser, Volcano Stadium, Nick Krupke, Fox 12, Oregon.
Fans from 34 states and at least 7 countries were on hand. The Hops, by the way, won the game 9-5.
The 5 o'clock news is just getting started.
It's a story assignment to take just about any reporter's breath away. Our own Stephanie Kralovich jumped from a plane at 14,000 feet during the eclipse. Her incredible view coming up.
Scientists flock to Oregon with all their equipment in tow. We geek out with a few eclipse fanatics.
The eclipse couldn't have come at a better time. We had dry conditions statewide, but we have some changes ahead as our next system pushes inland. Those details after the break.
We're watching the 5 o'clock news. First, live, local.
The solar eclipse spanned across the country from coast to coast.
While some say arguably the best view was in Salem and Madras, the first people to really see it were along the Oregon coast. The Oregon coast was the first in the country to experience totality this morning, a sight many weren't sure they'd be able to see because of the cloud cover that moved in earlier today.
Fox 12's Caitlin Bolduc continues our team coverage from Lincoln City with a look at what crowds there experienced. Caitlin?
Well, hey guys, this morning started off beautiful and sunny, albeit windy, much like conditions we're seeing right now. Take a look at the skies. There is literally not a cloud. We'll go figure. About 40 minutes right before the eclipse, those clouds started to roll in, and with it, people's worries that they weren't going to be able to see anything. Fortunately, that turned out to not be the case.
This is just... Oregon did it up good.
Breathtaking views of the total solar eclipse captivated the Oregon coast.
Well worth every penny we paid to come down here.
An astronomical event so powerful, not even the clouds could mask its beauty. All at once, the town of Lincoln City took pause to look toward the sky.
I think because when it started turning dark, and it was mimicking night. The fog that always rolls in at night rolled in. I don't know if that's true, but...
Well, it did get colder, so maybe there's something to that.
Oh, and I love that.
When it's completely dark and then it shines up like the diamond ring, which I love diamond, and that is just cool.
This time lapse shows what it was like under the moon's shadow from beginning to end of totality and captures the dramatic shift from daylight to darkness and then back to light once again.
She just stayed under the blanket. She was cold. You know what, and I was thinking that she might look up at it because it is kind of different, but she didn't. But it was great. We all had fun.
It was kind of like seeing the moon go in front of the sun, and it was like totally amazing.
After it was all over, people packed up and hit the road. At times, Highway 101 was a bit congested heading northbound, but nowhere near the traffic nightmare many were fearing, which wasn't necessarily a surprise. The coastal town didn't see the crowds they expected all weekend.
Come into the old Oregon. It's a great place to hang out.
Businesses did what they could to draw in drivers before they left town.
There weren't any real traffic problems. There wasn't a shortage of anything, and everybody I saw just had the time of their lives. So net, that versus, oh my God, what do we do with all the people? I'll take that any day.
City leaders say many people canceled their trip to the coast after hearing it could be cloudy. The ones who came decided to play the odds. A bet they won.
This was absolutely fantastic. And it's so gorgeous. It's just, and what better place than the Oregon coast?
And back out here live, we want to show you what Highway 101 looks like moving through town. You can see cars are stopped right now because it's a traffic light, but really there's no traffic. This is something we've seen really all day long. It's business as usual here, though everyone we spoke with here in town today say today is something they will never forget. Reporting live in Lincoln City, Caitlin Bolduc, Fox 12 Oregon.
Caitlin, thanks. Well, watching the eclipse on the coast was a truly amazing experience.
Just ask Andy Carson, who enjoyed some beach time with some new friends.
There we go. I really just noticed it getting dark.
Wow.
Got dark real fast. I mean, it's do we have it? Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Street lights have come on. I've taken the glasses off. Mike, you've been waiting for this. Your thoughts? This is stunning. And people that have braved the maybe higher prices, the scare of the chance of big traffic jams, and you know the traffic jams we have coming ahead. Wow. It's all worth it right now.
See,
I'm
unless there
is
a
too, Kim.
A total.
This is cool.
Eclipse.
Let's get to Fox 12's Marcia Martinez. If you look at our forecast, the weather was just perfect.
It really was. We couldn't have asked for better weather for this eclipse. Check this out. This was over at Stoller, and you can see how things changed so quickly within a matter of minutes. At 10:13, people camped there overnight. Bright, sunny, clear skies. Then it got dark right around 10:14. Stayed that way. And then we saw, well, the sun come right back out. Just beautiful conditions. Temperatures only dropped a few degrees there within that hour that we had the eclipse. Right now we're under blue skies. Lincoln City also seeing mainly clear conditions, but we do have some changes ahead. For tonight, though, we all stay very calm with just quiet weather conditions. Temperatures drop down to 51 degrees in LeGrand. A little cooler as you head out toward Baker City, dropping to 46. Madras, your low for tonight, 49 degrees. Here in Portland, temperatures will be in the 60s, so it's actually going to be a relatively mild night for us. But there's a front on the way. It's a pretty weak front, but you can see that storm system was out in the Pacific, still a ways away. Tomorrow afternoon, what we will see is just a little bit more moisture coming in from the southwest, which combined with just the heat of the day could lead to some thunderstorms around, but that would be right around central Oregon. However, in that area is where we have some wildfires, so that's of concern. Tomorrow morning, you could see low clouds around. In fact, more than what we saw earlier today. And here in the valley, it will just have some patchy clouds. Then in the afternoon, you can see here mainly sunny skies. It's during the evening hours this model at least starts to bring up some thunderstorms south and east of Bend, and those would quickly pretty much fall apart during the overnight hours. On Wednesday, we have a better chance of seeing not only more numerous thunderstorms, but they'll also be a little farther north. So Wednesday afternoon, you see that batch right there. Any lightning there could lead to new wildfires, so it's something we'll be keeping a close eye on. In fact, there's a red flag warning in that area. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll see temperatures get up to 78 degrees at midday. At 6 p.m., we'd be around 88, so it is going to be another warm one for us. Cooling off on Wednesday as our system passes through, our high 81. The coolest day Thursday, 75 will be our high. Then it starts to heat up for the next weekend.
Thank you. President Trump is expected to unveil plans for a new strategy in Afghanistan during a speech that's set for 6 o'clock tonight, a little more than half hour from now. This comes after months of deliberations within the administration. The president has been presented with a range of options, from a full withdrawal of troops to the deployment of several more. Right now, about 8,400 Americans are deployed to Afghanistan. The United States officially ended its combat mission in December of 2014, shifting focus to counterterrorism and training Afghan forces. President Trump, the First Lady, and son Barron stepped outside to take a look at the eclipse today. While Washington, D.C. was not along the path of totality, the president did check out the partial eclipse from the Truman balcony at the White House. And as you can see, all three made sure they had on their protective solar eclipse glasses.
Coming up on the 5 o'clock news, long lines of cars trying to escape Madras.
But that's not all that's keeping police busy. What we know about a bank robbery.
This whole event has brought people together across the country. We leave you now with a look at some of the social media posts with the hashtag #OREclipse. We'll be right back.
Over the weekend, a toddler was killed after a hit-and-run crash in Gresham.
Now today, Carlton Burton made his first court appearance. Burton is facing a felony hit-and-run charge. Authorities say he crashed and hit a 3-year-old boy. This was at 6 o'clock Saturday night in the parking lot of the East Trail Park Apartments on Southeast 162nd and Burnside. Gresham police say Burton jumped out of his car and ran from the scene. He turned himself in a few hours later. It's possible Burton could face more charges after a grand jury convenes.
The suspect accused of a Southeast Portland crime spree involving a stabbing, shooting, and car crash has now been identified. Portland police say 20-year-old Vester Brown is responsible for sending 9 people to the hospital yesterday, including an 8-year-old boy, 2 for gunshot wounds, and 7 for injuries they got during the car crash. Yesterday, officers responded to a stabbing on Southeast Division near 165th. Nearby, they found a woman shot. Minutes later and blocks away, police say Brown crashed a van with 7 people inside. Brown is facing attempted murder, assault, and weapons charges. Madras police say they're investigating a bank robbery that happened just this afternoon. Authorities say at about 2 p.m. a man walked into the U.S. Bank on 42 Southwest C Street. He demanded money and took off. No one there hurt, but it's still not clear just how much money he got away with. If you have any tips on what happened there, Madras police ask that you give them a call.
Coming up on the 5 o'clock news, we wouldn't exactly call them mad scientists.
But boy, they sure are committed. What they hope to learn from the moment the sun went black.
And here's another look at some of the amazing and fun images people have been posting to social media. Coming up, we're going to take a closer look at some of the most incredible ones. Well, most of us thought we were ready for it, but it truly was an amazing sight. Gasps could be heard from the crowds. Now that the eclipse is over, people are headed back home or to other places across the state.
Madras was one of the most popular places to be. That's where we find Fox 12's John Hendricks. John, how's everything right now?
Yeah, well, Pete and Liz, we've got some great things to share with you. Check this out. Traffic has cleared here in the area of the airport. I just spoke with the Jefferson County Sheriff, and he told me that things are still a little bit congested in the town of Madras itself. But we spoke with some drivers out here earlier today, and they told us that this is all part of the adventure to take in that solar eclipse.
Because of Earthshine, sunlight reflecting.
For some,
it's the show of the century.
This day,
It's crazy.
was years in the making.
But through the telescope, did you really see them?
It's all in there, and I can see some of the sunspots.
Good.
Hours of planning, hundreds of dollars, and a long trip.
Almost.
To a small town in Central Oregon.
We heard that it was the best spot when we were doing research.
Oh, that is so cool.
They brought their gizmos and gadgets and turned east, pointed high into the morning sky.
You got the full sun?
They're all here for one thing that not many will get to see in their lifetime.
Oh, wow.
It'll be interesting to see what they say, what the temperature drop was.
2 minutes
Oh, wow.
of totality.
It's beautiful.
Okay, glasses on. Glasses on. Glasses on.
No matter who you talk with here in Madras, young or old, they all had that same excitement in their eyes and a little quiver in their voice.
It was totally worth everything. You're crying? Yeah.
Many just standing in marvel, all for 2 minutes.
So cool.
Which they will remember for a lifetime.
That's unbelievable.
I tell you what, guys, we got over here on Thursday. I didn't really know what to expect as far as this eclipse went, and I'll tell you that it lived up to its expectation and more. Reported live in Madras tonight, John Hendricks, Fox 12 Oregon.
Well, great job putting that story together, John. Thank you. Well, one of the best reactions to the moment the eclipse hit totality came from our very own chief meteorologist, Mark Nelson.
And you have to remember, he had been looking forward to this for decades. So take a listen.
Oh, wow, it's going very quickly now. People are getting excited. Wow, this is absolutely amazing. Oh, this is amazing. Whoa, we are just about totally dark. We have total eclipse here. Wow. Isn't that amazing? This hasn't happened in 38 years, and there it is, just like that, how quickly it happened from dim sun to a totally eclipsed sun there. Absolutely amazing. Wow, it is just like sunset, but 360 degrees all around. All around it is light. Just totally surreal, guys. Exactly like I expected, in that it is really weird. It's relatively quiet, guys. I think everybody's just in awe. Like, there was hooting and hollering at the beginning. Now we're soaking it up. Whoa! Guys, we just had the perfect diamond ring effect.
No kidding.
And the sun is back. Whoa!
Just an amazing view, but all day long, and we hate to bring you down, we have seen some traffic tie-ups along major roads, especially those in and out of Salem and Madras.
Yeah, that's the reality at this point. Many of them found stops along the way to check out the eclipse. A lot of folks pulled off at a rest stop near Salem this morning to see the phenomenon, and most booked it straight out of there, only to be stuck in long lines of traffic. Everyone just leaving at the same time, basically. Some drivers decided it might be smarter to wait it out and hopefully avoid the worst of it.
We have decided we are going to sit and let everybody go first.
Be patient.
Yep.
Wait until it clears out.
Yeah. Don't be in a hurry, because if you're in a hurry, it'll only stress you out. So just hang out and enjoy.
Good advice, but not everyone took it or was able to.
Good advice if you're not stuck in it, I guess. Yeah. Hey, you know, there was some concern about airport traffic, but so far it's staying nice, calm, and quiet. Many flights will be coming in the coming days, but the airport spokesman we spoke to says that they don't have any extra planes or flights to serve eclipse visitors. In fact, today they're predicting a normal, busy summer day here at PDX with about 68,000 people arriving and departing. Well, most of us witnessed the total eclipse from the ground, but Air 12 was up and flying as the moon eclipsed the sun this morning.
Fox 12's Marilyn Deutsch has been going over these amazing aerial images, and she joins us now with an amazing bird's eye view of the eclipse.
Yeah,
Marilyn.
it really is. Definitely a different view from above. Everything is not only dark, but also quiet and kind of lonely seeming.
From Air 12 this morning, we see the crowds gathering at the state capitol in anticipation of the eclipse. The golden Oregon Pioneer brightening in the sun. There are campers, too, nearby at the city's parks, some of whom have been here at Riverfront Park since Saturday afternoon, traveling and sitting for hours, all for the thrill of 2 minutes. It did not disappoint. The partial eclipse beginning at 9:05 a.m. in Salem. The moon just kissing the sun's edge. The sky starts to darken, but it is almost imperceptible at first. Then, minutes before totality, you see Salem dim, and the Pioneer Man starts to fade. As the moon hides more and more of the sun, the sky darkens. And then at 10:17, 2 minutes of total darkness. And from Air 12, silence too. As if the earth and not the sun was swallowed up. A wonder to behold, and no wonder that many call a total eclipse of the sun a soul-stirring event. And while it lasts for more than a blink of an eye, it's all over too soon. We get just 2 minutes of totality. As the moon passes and the sun returns, so does another Monday morning in the state capitol. And just like that, the thrill is gone and the traffic's back.
Well, sometimes great things don't have to be long to be appreciated. The memory of that 2-minute eclipse will last a lifetime. In studio, Marilyn Deutsch, Fox 12 Oregon.
Great stuff, Marilyn. Thank you. Science lovers from all across the Portland area got together at OMSI today to witness the eclipse together.
Fox 12's Jamie Wilson was there with them. She's live now with their reactions. Jamie?
Well, this morning, OMSI really became the home base for astronomy nerds and anyone who's had eclipse fever lately. And even though we weren't in the path of totality right here, it was still an incredible moment, especially for kids.
So I had to wake up like at 7, and it was really hard for me to wake up because I went to sleep really late last night.
There were heroes among us today, school kids still on summer break, sacrificing sleep for science. Close to 1,000 people showed up at OMSI for an eclipse watch party, and they did their homework.
The eclipse is when the moon goes in front of the sun, blocking the sun out, and so it's casting a shadow.
So the sun is farther away from us than the moon, and so even though the sun is much larger than the moon can sometimes totally block out the sun.
And the gravity of this event was not lost on the little ones. Beyond the science stuff, how cool is this?
Pretty cool, because, like, I've never seen an eclipse.
And you probably won't again, do you know that?
Yeah, probably, because, I'll probably be dead by then.
At 9:06 a.m., after all the anticipation, it was time for the main event. These bespectacled sky gazers watched in awe.
Well, it looks like the sun has turned into the moon, and looks like a crescent-shaped sun. And so you can see the moon moving its way across.
It got pretty dark there for a bit. How was that?
Well, it was dark, but it was good too.
At 10:19, Portlanders saw a 99.1% eclipse of the sun, creating crisp shadows and an unexpected drop in temperature.
Well, it was really awesome, and I loved it so much.
The shadows were cool. I am actually quite chilly right now.
Away from screens, apps, and noise, families also enjoyed bonding over a good old galactic anomaly.
I mean, it's amazing just experience it with my son, and my other two, my 3-year-old that's over there with mom. But it's an amazing experience, super amazing.
And an OMSI volunteer told me that he hopes that some of the kids who were here today maybe got inspired by the eclipse, that they might choose a career in science. So maybe we shall see in 20 or 30 years. In Southeast Portland tonight, Jamie Wilson, Fox 12 Oregon.
Of course, we've had our crews covering different parts of Oregon today, showing us different vantage points of the eclipse. But you, our viewers, did such a great job of showing us your perspective as well. Just as Jamie mentioned, a lot of parents took advantage of this unique experience, making sure they brought out their kids. This one on Instagram I thought was really great, that she had to bribe her child with a cookie to make sure she wore her safety glasses. But hey, you had to do what's necessary. And look at this. Some workers, of course, some people still had to work today like we did, but a lot of employers let people go outside and check it out. You can see these Starbucks workers with their glasses on. Whether you were in 100% totality or maybe 99 99 didn't seem so bad. And as you could see with some folks who posted pictures of their shadows, like this one right here, just looking down instead of looking up, got some really great images that they were able to share as well. But really, it's whenever you got to see some of these videos that I thought were also spectacular. You can see Timbers sharing their image, and it's this time lapse of how you can see it's going to dim just a bit. Now, they didn't get 100% totality right because it's in Portland, and you see it get dark right there. Marilyn Deutsch, one of our Fox 12 reporters, her husband was over in Council Crest, and you can see this fantastic image, also another time lapse for us. So really fantastic images, and well done because you guys are part of the team. One last thing I do want to show you. I thought this was interesting how this business, Carney Wilson, the singer, opening up a business soon in Sherwood, and you look right there when it went dark, the lights just automatically went on. So keep sharing these images with us so we can share them with everybody else. Remember to use hashtag #OREclipse and hashtag Eclipse 2017.
What a day it was. All right, Liz, thanks. Straight ahead on the 5 o'clock news, skydiving in the dark. Stephanie Kralovich jumps out of a plane at just the right time. You don't want to miss her amazing adventure.
We've had a warm afternoon. Temperatures even hit 90 degrees here in Portland, and it is going to get even hotter later on in the week. I'll have those details coming up after the break.
We're watching the 5 o'clock news. First, live, local.
We just cannot get enough of this incredible image as the sun and moon do a little dance, casting an amazing shadow on the earth right here in Oregon. What an experience today. Well, what better way to view the total solar eclipse than, I don't know, jumping out of an airplane at 14,000 feet? Yeah, I don't know. If you're a scaredy cat like me, not so much. But if you're an adrenaline junkie, yeah, it's perfect.
It works out pretty well, doesn't it? Our own Stephanie Kralovich is not one. In fact, she is a true nervous Nelly who had never skydived before. But we sent her up anyway with the pros at Pacific Northwest Skydiving in Malino, and here's how it all went down.
We're in Malino at Pacific Northwest Skydiving. This is Dave Thorpe. He is going to be, well, I'm tandem skydiving with you.
Yes.
And what are we about to do here?
We're about to jump out of an airplane and have a lot of fun.
At how many feet?
14,000 feet.
Is it okay that I'm shaking like a leaf?
Totally normal.
Okay, I have
I'll try not to shake more than you.
You guys!
Yeah, the ones with
So
the...
this is for during the free fall.
That's for the free fall, yeah. Pull them down a little bit. They should fit. Yep, that's right. They should fit like that.
How do I look? Dave, he's been reassuring me for the past 4 hours, so thanks, Dave.
I get to take you skydiving. This is going to be awesome.
I can't. I just can't even.
Right here. Stephanie, how are you?
I can't breathe. We made it?
We're good.
We're gonna live? Just a tiny sliver left and we go into total darkness, Dave! First live local! I can't believe we're flying! We're flying! Whoa! What was that?
We're just turning it over.
awesome. That was the best thing ever. That was the best thing ever. I lived. You guys, I made it. Dave, thank you so much.
Oh, awesome.
And we love Steph for that.
Goosebumps at the moment of totality. There. That was
Amazing.
amazing. All right, Marja, we got time for a quick look at the weather.
Can't beat that view. Right now, we're under clear blue skies. Temperatures are at 90 degrees, so it's certainly warmed up this afternoon. And tonight, we'll get down to 62 degrees. Out at the coast, temperatures will drop to 52. They will have some low clouds developing once again, even more than what we saw last night, and mainly clear skies in the forecast for the overnight hours in eastern Oregon. But big changes ahead over the, well, middle of the week especially. Here you can see our next system. That's going to be pushing inland. Now, it's not going to make its way onshore until about Wednesday. For us, we'll start to feel the impacts then. But tomorrow, one thing we'll see are more numerous thunderstorms in central and southern parts of our state. But here, for those of you who are just visiting, going to be traveling back home, this Tuesday is going to be another warm day. Our high 88 degrees, but it is going to be mainly sunny, so shouldn't have any weather-related delays. Can't promise you won't have any flight delays, though, just because so much air traffic. Wednesday, 81 degrees will be the high. That's when we start to notice a difference in the fact that it is going to be much cloudier, and we even have the chance of some showers. Now, notice in south central Oregon, there's already a red flag warning in effect. It's going to go into effect at 2 p.m. through 11 because of gusty winds and plenty of lightning around once that storm system approaches. On Wednesday, that's when the impacts will start to be noticeable out toward Madras, Mitchell, Bend. You have the chance of a couple of thunderstorms around, and of course that increases the risk of new wildfires forming. Out at the coast tomorrow, temperatures will rise to 68, 69 will be the high in Tillamook. Temperatures in the valley going to be warm, much like what we experienced today, with sunny skies for the afternoon hours. For your 7-day forecast, notice Wednesday clouds increase. During the overnight hours, we have the chance of a couple of showers, but nothing too heavy. Now Thursday, it is going to start off cloudy. We'll start to see some clearing in the afternoon. It's going to be a cool day for us with a high of 75, and it'll start to warm up on Friday. We'll be back after the break with more news.
We've talked a lot about the cool ways to watch the solar eclipse. Well, how about at a winery?
Yeah, that tops it when it comes to being pretty cool. Fox 12's Amber Diaz went to Eola Hills for one big party.
Well, whatever you were doing today, if you didn't have your eclipse shades on and your eyes to the sky, you missed out on a pretty spectacular event, the eclipse of 2017. You're about to meet a few people who had a front row seat for it all.
It was when that diamond came out from behind it.
This is what people have been waiting for.
It was like bursting crazy.
The total solar eclipse captivated the crowd of young and old.
Over there, you could see like the moon and a bunch of things, and that made it look like so cool.
For those who didn't want to venture to the coast or central Oregon, Eola Hills Winery, just west of Salem, was the perfect spot, smack in the middle of the path of totality.
It was everything you hoped and dreamed.
Yes.
You cried.
Changed, I did cry.
It was a moment many will never forget.
It was awesome. I saw one in 52, but I was a little younger then, and it's a lot more awesome when you're older.
The 2 minutes of totality were fascinating, but even more amazing, the 20 seconds of shadow that rolled across the rolling hills. As the sun dipped behind the moon, many took off their shades and gazed up at the sky.
And it's beautiful.
But it was short-lived. The crowd began to feast just moments after the sun began to shine again.
It's really funny because I think it's only about half back to normal, but everybody's just like, yeah, that eclipse was so yesterday. give me the barbecued brisket now.
The next solar eclipse is set to take place in about 2 years, and it will span across parts of Argentina and the South Pacific. Of course, I spoke to people here, and they say there's nowhere else they'd rather be than here to see it. Reporting from Eola Hills, Amber Diaz, Fox 12 Oregon.
Well, stick with us. Our total coverage of the total solar eclipse continues.
Plus, the president is giving a live speech on Afghanistan. Here's a live look at the podium in Virginia. We're going to have the speech live next.